Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to the Watching Walford channel. I am Ash and today we're going to be bringing you the news that Vera Chock, also known as Honor Chen-Williams of Hollyoaks fame, is indeed departing the show. Obviously, storyline wise, she left the soap after receiving a job offer in London as her marriage to Dave Chen-Williams, well, just quickly crumbled. During their time on the show, they were obviously she's a counsellor and he's a postman, so she's the breadwinner type deal, but also he's trying his best, and they have like multiple kids from different, I was gonna say walks of life. They have different kids from different parents, from old relationships. And it was about meshing them together as a family. Did they get to do much as a couple? Not particularly. They had a couple moments. They had a storyline where they were trying to figure out how to be friends because, well, ultimately they're not the most normal people. They're fairly strange in the grand scheme of it. Yeah. But ultimately, what was her role? She was there to bring in what could possibly be a next generation of Hollyoaks stars, obviously bringing in their children, Mason, Serena, Sam, Lizzie, Ethan is involved as well, but then obviously Serena left and then they brought in Shane Lin. And ultimately it is the role of the parents to obviously bring in these kids, and they are like the, basically, whereas the parents will quickly fade out, they often become the lifeline of the show for a little bit. And did they? I mean, they tried to raise them prominently. Obviously, Serena, when she was here, was a big athlete and had a lot of issues surrounding her. She took some drugs and then had an injury, but they then became friends with Dave's long-lost daughter, Maxine Minniver, obviously an established character from the show. And it just kind of... Also, Mason had his radicalised, Incel storyline. Lizzie had her relationship with Sid. Ethan had Maya and now is with Sienna. And Sam has had his relationship with Zoe, on and off, kind of will they won't they type deal. So ultimately Honor didn't really do much, but did bring in these characters, which they have somewhat featured prominently. And it's a bit, like I said, parents in soaps, unless they are the big matriarch type, usually don't last particularly long. Like, say, Sandy Roscoe, Gillian Talforth, actress who plays Kathy Beale. She was there to set up the Roscoe clan, who then proceeded to wreak havoc over the show for the next, 5 or so years? So, ultimately, it's not a surprise that she didn't get much to do. She had some interesting scenes with Warren, but it feels like they never really figured out how to bring her into the life form of the soap. Obviously it'll be interesting to see what angle they take Dave into, because ultimately he is staying, as are all of the children or teenagers. But the next question is what actually, do they actually stick around? I mean, how intrinsic are they to the show? Obviously Ethan's with Sienna, but there's some rumors over summer that she's going to find this smart, this suave but also leathery looking horse at a horse race. And obviously there's always trouble with Sienna. Lizzie is kind of with in a little trio with Damon and Brooke. Sam is a police officer and has a relationship with Zoe, and Mason is trying to redeem himself and what I would imagine is probably Leah has a chance of getting with him. But that's just me reading into the, like, opening still, so who knows. So, unfortunately, she didn't really get to do much on her time on the soap, but hopefully she will live on with her, like, with all the children. I think an issue with the Chen-Williams is they kind of struggled a lot with timing, as obviously Serena was the first Chen-Williams to be introduced. And obviously she appeared as Galaxy and gave Sid that, like, closure to actually start feeling comfortable about his prosthetic leg. And it always seemed like they were going to have a bit of a relationship, but instead Sid got with Lizzie, and that went that way. Obviously Sam was going to have some issues with his mum, as she was mentally ill at some point and struggled to take care of them. And that led to a lot of struggling, but that never really got touched on. So, it's, some things didn't necessarily make sense, and it feels like a lot of their stuff got rushed. But I feel like they'll at least still manage to be fairly prominent in the ways on the show. But then again, I thought Shaq was staying for a long time, and I was very wrong about that. So hopefully we get to see a bit of a fresh lick of paint on the Chen-Williams now that Honor has departed. And I wonder how they're gonna take the family from here. Anyways, I have been Ash from Watching Walford. This has been a video explaining the details of the exit surrounding Honor Chen-Williams and the actress Vera Chock from Hollyoaks. What do you think of Honor? Did she think she deserved a little bit more? Or did you kind of feel like they didn't really warrant anything? I don't really think they did much, and probably they were a fun enough character, but never really managed to fully get established. But yeah, what do you think of Honor? Do you think she had enough time, and would you like to see her return in the future? I personally think she'll be a soap character that is safely left behind, unfortunately, but hopefully the Chen-Williams continue to be in the lifeblood of the show and don't just slowly bow out one by one as they realise that they didn't actually have many strong characters in there. Thank you for watching, and make sure to watch the podcast and watch all the other videos on the channel. Bye bye.